So I wanted to kind of change up this year's Zoom calls. I know last year we tried to focus on like certain topics, and we are going to focus on certain topics, but Benjamin, but I really wanted to do more of a roundtable type option. And I'm hoping that as the year goes on and we add more team members, that more, I have this light shining, that more team members will start to kind of pop on when they kind of realize what it is. Because I know that we have access to YouTube to go and, you know, watch trainings whenever. So it's kind of easy to not have to be on at a certain time frame, but there is something about, I think that was one thing that I was just telling Misty today that I loved about SFR in Austin the first time I went, was it was the first time that I actually got to sit around with like-minded people that were going through the same things I was going through, that were trying to figure out the same things that I was trying to figure out. And just being able to toss ideas around and be able to say, oh, you do this, oh, I do this, and oh my gosh, that's a great idea, how do you do that? And be able to have that back and forth conversation. And so that's kind of what I wanted this year's monthly call to kind of be about, like to pick kind of a topic, and then everybody maybe share one little thing. And not everybody has to share. If you're watching this recording and you decide to come on for next month, don't feel obligated to share if you're nervous to be on video, or you know, you're nervous about speaking. Sorry, Benjamin, Michael, go back to your bedroom right now. So don't be feeling like you have to come and share, but if everybody has something that they are gifted at, even if it's something very minute, by like bringing an atmosphere to a group of people, maybe you're really good at Excel, maybe you're really great at raising kids, like everybody has something that they can contribute. And so a lot of times we think that we have to have this big grand idea to share, and a lot of times even the smallest of things that make someone's life easier can have the biggest impact when you share. So I wanted tonight's topic to be about ways to get PRV, because I feel like it's January, it's start to a new year. A lot of us are really wanting to get our business off to a really great start for 2022. And that starts with PRV. And so I wanted to kind of go around and ask you guys, what was your biggest success in 2021 as far as how you were able to get PRV? Was there, one area that you focused in that you were able to get PRV in, and maybe what it was that you thought made that very successful? Amber, you want to start?
Sure.
Put her on the spot.
There you go.
Okay, so this shows how forgetful I am. So you said biggest way.
What do you think brought your most consistent PRV of 2021?
Okay, most consistent PRV. Probably follow up with customers for sure. Just like if I saw something and it made me think of them, or say a good sale was, just messaging my customers, that way they were aware of it, because a lot of stuff can kind of get lost on Facebook. Maybe they weren't on Facebook and didn't see all my posts and stuff on there, so it's just that one-on-one communication. I had one today, a one-on-one message, because I remembered last year they asked me about something and we didn't have the wax bars, and then they came back, bring back my bars, and I was just letting them know. And then they were like, yeah, I need 2 packs of that and throw me in some more flowers. So one-on-one communication.
Okay, so did you have, were you just really, really good at remembering what people liked and what people were interested in? Or did you have a way that you wrote that down or kept records of that?
So I did not write it down or keep records. Now, I do always have messages to look back at because that's probably the most common form of communication. So if I forget, do that to rely on and get better at it down. But I'm personally a person where I make certain associations with people, and so I remember things about people. And it's just like, it's part of that relationship thing. I'm like, oh yeah, this is my friend Lisa. She don't like those bakery scents at all. And I was like, and she likes to save some money. And, so I make associations, which I know isn't for everyone. But.
No, that's the reason why I asked, is because I am horrible at those things. I've talked a lot about that with Misty and Sam. Like, I want to remember everything about everyone, but unless it has like a really big impact, or like, I don't know, like a certain type of conversation, I have a hard time remembering those type of things. So I am actually this year trying to find a way to kind of refresh my memory for those type of things, because I don't want to send someone a bakery bar if they absolutely hate bakery. So no, I think, and not having there's nothing wrong with not having a system. I think it's amazing that you can remember. One second.
Misty, your face on my screen, and it's beautiful.
Well, I'm driving to Florida, so I figured y'all could at least see my face on the screen instead of just a black screen.
Yeah. All right. So Amber, so follow-up seems to be your most consistent thing. Did you find a way, was there something that helped you gain some new customers? Seems how that type of PRV is something that where a lot of new people may listen to it and be like, well, I don't have a customer base yet. Did you have a way that you worked on getting newer customers?
Yeah, so I did a few things last year. One thing was at the very beginning of the year, I had done a marketplace post about free samples to local people that had never seen anything. Not everyone, loved Scentsy as much as I did, but I did gain a handful of customers out of them, and they've been some of the most awesome customers. Biggest thing with that was I made them like these little sample packs I just took like a paring knife and cut like little thin strips of wax, had them labeled, had a few flyers and things in there. I threw in like some hard candies, and then I dropped them off. But then again, I followed up, otherwise it would have been pointless. So I did that and gained some new customers and new PRV there. Vendor events, I stepped out on a limb, did my very first vendor event. Was not planning on doing it that soon, but I had just posted in one of our local groups just asking about vendor event, things coming up, how to get involved in them. And I got a few responses on some things, and then someone bail last minute, and they were like, hey, I got an opening for you if you want it tomorrow. And I was like, what better way than to just go ahead and do it? So vendor events were fantastic because as a stay-at-home mom, getting to get out of the house, outside of my normal places I go, grocery store, Hobby Lobby, Starbucks. So it put me in front of some new faces that I might not see otherwise, to form relationships. And then let's see, what else was there? Oh, let's see. Also, I would try and share different products. Like say if there was a picture of a warmer that was just really pretty, or something I had found out about one of our products that I really liked. I try to share those things on Facebook, but in a non-salesy way, like not like, oh my gosh, this is only $17. You should get it. It would just be like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. Like, for example, I'll share this super quick. The other day, we have a fireplace that last year I absolutely slaved over trying to get the black off of the doors, because it's one of those kind with the doors. I used Grease Lightning, I used Windex, I used Totally Awesome. I used all of these supposed to be like super potent, like crazy strong chemicals last year and got nowhere. And so I kind of just gave up on it, thought like, oh, well, I guess that's just our fireplace doors. And then this year we just did our first fire a day or two ago now. And my husband went and got an old sponge that we were going to throw away, some dish soap and perfect peppermint, and then my all-purpose cleaner. He sprayed the doors with the all-purpose cleaner, let it set for just a few seconds, I swear. That's what it felt like. And then scrubbed it with a sponge with dish soap, and like all the black came off. And I was like, this is too good. People have to know. Like, I don't even believe this. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't. So it's like just sharing those kind of things to people, because, you know, it's something that it blows my mind and it's a visual for people. But that's kind of showed people like more sides to different things Cincy has to offer. And it opens up those doors for PRV, for expanding the base, because it's people that might not have considered it before, because maybe all they thought it was warmers and wax or another all-purpose cleaner. So just sharing experience.
I think that has a lot to say, like, as far as, because we have some people on our team that are in between what we call like just shopping for themselves, but also like sharing with their friends and family, but not full-fledged like going into their business. And like the biggest thing I take from that story is be your own customer, use the products. I mean, that's why you joined, was so that you at least get a discount on your stuff. But when you use the own products, if you take the time to share it and share what uses that it has for your life and the enjoyment that you get out of it, and you share that on a regular basis, people are going to get interested, and you'll slowly build up a customer base. Even if you don't hit it out of the park right away, if you consistently share those things, if you're not wanting to build a business really fast, but you do want to slowly build a customer base, if you do those type of things, you'll slowly find people that want to purchase from you. So that just, don't think that you have to go full time and make it like a crazy business and still be considered successful. You decide your success. So I think for me, what I'm gonna unpin you. I think for me, most of my PRV actually probably still came from Facebook parties. I did kind of a combination of shopping links and Facebook parties. I did vendor events last year, and I did get quite a bit of PRV and new customers from that. But I always go back, for me, social media is such a big thing. Not that you have to be on social media to be successful, but that is where I have found my niche. But I focus mainly on doing parties actually in my VIP group. I've gone back and forth through that through the year, trying to find what works and what doesn't work. But I like giving out shopping links, and I like partying in my Facebook group. That was probably my biggest way of getting PRV, and that's how I've gained more customers. This year, I kind of want to focus on kind of the after work that happens after that, like booking parties off of those Facebook parties, and then also trying to have those recruiting conversations. That's kind of where I focused mostly this past year. Let's see, Cece, do you feel up to sharing?
Yeah, I started talking and I was muted. Anyways, I have not had, I will be completely honest, I have not had a party. I have not had an in-home party. I've not had a online party in probably about 8 months. So strictly, and it's not from a lack of trying, I just feel like my customers are kind of just burnt out on it. They're just more, want to shop for themselves, and which is fine. So I've had to switch my game up from doing parties just to follow up. I have to do a lot of following up with people. That's mostly what my business is. That's probably about 80% of what my business is just following up with my customers. I do 2 days after they've received. So say if they do direct ship, 2 days after they received it, I will message them and just ask them about the product. I won't try to sell them anything. I'll just ask them, I see that you received X, Y, and Z. What did you think of it? And then probably about 2 weeks later, I'll check in with them and ask what their favorite product was that they received. And I send out happy mail with that. And that way, after I follow it, like within the 2 weeks, I send them happy mail and a thank you. And within that, I use the scent stickers with the current 10. And I will put a sticker on there asking them to share or message me back, let me know that they got it and what was their favorite, and I'll make a note of that. I use Post-its. I don't know where I put all my Post-its. I haven't sat at my desk in a while, but I'll make Post-its of everything, and then I'll write stuff down. I have a follow-up sheet that I keep track of, and once I write everything down, once they told me what their favorite was, I'll take note of that. And if I send them a scent circle with their next happy mail or whatever, it will be in that particular scent that they like so much.
That's a really
keep
good
track of
idea.
everything.
I wouldn't mind if you wouldn't mind sharing like your form and like your stickers that you use, like a snapshot or something, because I send those things out, but I am horrible at like recording it. And I love the idea of sending them a scent circle in the scent that they liked.
Yeah. And usually they'll, come back and they'll say, what else comes in this scent? Or I'll highlight it, or I'll put I love these little things. So what I'll do is I'll stick stuff in a catalog, or I use product brochures. I've not bought a catalog. That's just how I run my business. I haven't bought catalogs in about 2 years. I use the showcase brochures for everything. And I'll just use these little stickers that are see-through, and I'll just stick them everywhere of the scents that they like. And I'll write on here, they're super small, but I'll like, this comes in the laundry line or whatever it may be. These things are so handy. What else? I keep up with a lot of it. Post-its for one. My Facebook Messenger, like my Messenger, which I probably need to get away from that. Like try to not move on from Facebook, but try to get off Facebook a little bit more. Also, when my customers interact with just anything, it sparks like, oh, I haven't checked in with them. So I won't interact with them that particular day, but I'll write myself a note saying, I don't know, Susie interacted on X, Y, and Z, just checking with her, or, ask her about her dog or something like that. What else?
I'm going to cut in really quickly because you just said something that spurred a thought. So I saw it posted today. If you have not sorted your friends into groups on Facebook, do that. I actually just took like the first week of January and sorted all my friends into certain categories, because you can actually select that category and that's what your news feed will show. So if you haven't interacted, like if you're seeing more Scentsy people than you are seeing like your customers and you want to interact more with them, you can actually sort Facebook to show you just those friends. So I was able to sort, so I don't see as much Scentsy people now. I see more of my customers to comment and start interacting with them. So that spurred a thought when you said that. And
I
you
did
guys
not know
can
that,
talk,
but
like if y'all have
that's good.
questions, like if she says something or if anybody says something, y'all can hop in and ask questions, or if you have an idea, like something that you can't unmute yourself and talk.
Yes, please interrupt me at any time. Let's see. I share a lot, so I do not a whole lot of interaction with my stories on my Instagram and my Facebook, but I seem to like, that's where my relationships are being built a lot from, is from my stories. So even if I'm not doing an interaction post for Scentsy, those interactions are helping me build relationships with people that I wouldn't even think of, like, you know, to even ask, because I don't particularly care for the whole cold messaging people or, you know, anything like that. Or even if they do interact on a Scentsy post, just liking it or whatever, I don't reach out to them because I personally don't like that. But stories have definitely helped. And I liked how Amber was talking about the glass, the open or the shutters or whatever. Sharing your Scentsy life is so important, and what you use and how you use the product, because you have to be a product of the product, in my opinion. So I like that. I like that story and like how you posted that. So
I love
Yeah.
stories. I feel like I actually took a break from posting stories and kind of posting online in general mid-December, and I actually had several people over Christmas holiday. They're like, everything okay? Like, you haven't been posting in a while, and you know, I hadn't been seeing you. So like, people are watching. Like, I think Kim, she posted in the team page, like, people are watching that you don't expect to watch. And I feel like stories is a really good way to let people kind of in your life without having a post. It's just like a quick little glimpse. I love stories. Carrie, did you have a question?
Go
No,
ahead.
I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
So I'm a very visual person. I have a dry erase calendar on my front door. I have a planner. I have a wall calendar on the wall right here. And then I have this little journal. And what I do is when my customers order, I write down their name and the date that they placed their order and what it was that they ordered. And so this is how I can keep track of the things that my customers are interested in, and know that, you know, if they go on sale, or if, you know, if it's gonna be discontinued or anything like that, then I can let them know, so that if they wanted to continue being able to get that bar or that scent and whatever, then, you know, then we can have the discussion about, you know, Scentsy Club and stuff like that. But being a school teacher, being a mom of teenagers, having, you know, my husband and myself, if it's not written down for me, I am not going to remember it. So I have things written everywhere. And to some people, it's probably just a lot of written chaos. But to me, it's how I can keep track of, you know, the things that my customers need, or the things that they've ordered in the past, their favorite smells. You know, like you were saying, Rachel, you don't want to send somebody a bakery scent, you know, if they don't like bakery scents. Well, in my little journal here that I have, I can write that down, because each of my customers has their own little page or pages, and that can give me small reminders of things that they like or things that they don't like.
I love
That's a
that.
good
I need that in like a bigger version. My notebook would be really big. One
But
of these
for right
days
now,
when I have millions of customers.
Yeah, for me, it's manageable, because I've only been doing this since the end of September, as you know. So
Yeah.
for me, it's manageable right now. I'm sure I'll have to go to an Excel spreadsheet or something as my business grows, but for right now, it's manageable.
I love it. I would
think-
write it down and I forget where I put it, or like, you know, I would be like, oh, I put it in this certain area, and then a month later be like, where did I put that? So
Yeah, Amber's got index cards.
there you go.
Yeah.
I tried that a long time ago. Yeah, I failed at that too. Like,
Where's your
Give me my-
Rolodex?
where's my Excel spreadsheet? Look at it, Kim's got it too. Yeah. So there's a system for everything. You just got to find what works for you. So well, Cece, did you have I know we're kind of going into two different areas, but did you have, you said PRV definitely was like the customer base that you had, you know, building those relationships. Did you have progress with getting new customers last year?
Not honestly, not really. Like I said, with me not doing a whole lot of parties, I did not get a whole lot of new customers, but it's okay with my customer base now. I have a good amount of loyal customers that, you know, that buy on the regular. So if anybody else had like a great way to get new customers, I'm definitely here for that. But yeah, I didn't have a
Well,
new
I was
way.
actually talking with Chris about that this past week when we were kind of on our break, and you know, me and Cece, I think, have been in it about the same time. I think you've actually been in a little bit longer. But you get to a point to where like you have an established customer base, and so it's just building that relationship and following up with a lot of people. But I thought about it the other day because we went somewhere and Chris was like, pull out a scent circle and give it to the Starbucks, you know, drive-through lady. And I remember when I first started, every single person that I met when I left my house, I was trying to give a sample to. Like, it was like, who can I share Scentsy with today? And then as you've been around for a while, you don't really think about it anymore. You don't go out with samples in your hands trying to give it out to everyone. And I told Chris, I was like, how much further along would I be if I was still doing the things I did the first 6 months that I joined? Because you get, not to say that you have to go gung-ho 24/7, but that same enthusiasm and those same like little practices that you do when you first join to start building that customer base. Like if you did that on a kind of consistent basis, how many new customers would you have?
Yeah.
So just a thought to throw out there. Let's
Ladies,
see.
I'm gonna say goodnight. It's bedtime. I gotta get up early and go teach the little one tomorrow.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you for popping in.
Yep, I'll see y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Misty, do you want to share next? Are you around?
Sure. Sorry, I had to find the mute button while my hands are on the steering wheel.
Oh, you're driving. I'm sorry. I thought Eric.
Yeah,
was
Eric needed a nap.
Okay.
So most, if not all of my PRV comes from parties. I did a couple events. I had a couple of bad events. I had a couple of good events, which gained a lot of new customers. Once I go home and get everybody's information and stuff, I do try to seek them out on Facebook, and add them there, because typically I wouldn't, you know, have them on Facebook so they're not seeing me regularly. But I would say at least 90% of mine is going to be strictly parties. Making sure that I'm posting random warmers, not really trying to sell anything, posting about cleaning things, posting things in my stories. I was doing separate groups, and now I've went to just partying in my VIP group and having everybody, you know, add their friends and family and all that kind of stuff to the VIP group. So we're going to try that this year. So far it's working out pretty well. I'm actually getting a lot more interaction from my VIPers that were already in there in the current party that I have going. I actually, with a booking incentive, since my year anniversary was in November, I did a personal special, and I just reached out to people who may have partied in May. Even if their party didn't do very well, sometimes I noticed that some of my customers would do really well in the spring, and they would kind of bomb in the fall. So their friends and family really weren't spicy people. They didn't want fall and winter stuff. They wanted all of the coconuts and the limes and stuff like that. And then the ones that bombed done really well in the fall. When I offered an incentive, you know, I just reached out to people who I had personally connected with. Maybe I haven't met them personally, but I met them through a party or met them through a friend, and just reached out and was like, you know, hey, would you like to do an online scent session? I've got a booking special this month. Let me know if you're interested. They would ask me what the special was, and I was utilizing the perpetual reward. They paid $1, and you know, I paid the difference. A lot of people can't do that, which is completely okay. But I wanted to do that as for my 1-year anniversary. It worked out really well. I did 8 parties in November in 2 weeks. It was really stressful. I will never do that again, but it was very good. I did almost $2,000 within 2 weeks, which was great. But mine's mainly from my parties, just making sure that I'm constantly posting in there. I post about every 2 hours. I try to schedule mine a lot ahead of time. I use a lot of real life photos. I go live. And typically what I'll do is I'll actually go live from my Facebook page and then from my phone. And then on my computer, I'll actually share that video out to older parties that haven't been deleted. I'll share it to my VIP group, current parties. And sometimes I'll even actually send it, like if my hostess hasn't attended, I'll actually send her the video in Messenger to where she can just click on the video and come straight into the Facebook Live. So I've got a lot of really good interaction from the lives, even if they don't pop on. They're actually still going back because a lot of people are actually afraid, and this is going to sound really silly. When you ask people to pop on your live, they actually think that you're physically inviting them to show their face, which is totally not true. You just want them to hop on and comment and look at things. So I found out this past year that a lot of people are kind of afraid of that because they think they actually have to go live. So I've had to clarify that with a bunch of people. But they're seeing product in my house. So I do like a field trip around my house and I show them different warmers that are set up in the kitchen or in the living room, in the bathroom, fragrance flowers, showing them how things work. Typically my live lasts about 45 minutes to an hour. And I found that a lot of people, even though I'm posting like Tip Tuesday and use cotton balls and do this and spray your scent circle with room spray, they're not really paying attention to all the reading. But if I'm showing them and I'm talking on the live, they've actually learned a lot more information just by watching me actually talk. People will watch you on a video before they'll read your 1,200 character post on Facebook. So I mean I try
Which
to
is
interact.
another reason why I think stories on Facebook and Instagram get so much interaction now is because people love to watch videos.
Yes.
TikTok,
I mean, I had people watch me clean my crock pot. Like,
yeah, I
it
feel,
was crazy. It was just barbecue sauce.
I feel like TikTok has kind of ruined people because they want the short videos and like their attention span is
Yeah.
like done over 7 seconds. You had me and now you lost me. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't show something really interesting, like falling and busting your butt or farting or something, they're not going to watch past that like 7 seconds.
They're done.
But I mean, I've done really well at it. I've tried to do like the bingo and I've tried to do like different games and stuff, and it really doesn't work out. I do want to try to do like in my VIP group a game once a week, and have that scheduled, because with a previous business, when I was consistently going live every single day that I said I was, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays, because my kid was playing football, they knew if you messaged my customer and was like, hey, what time is she going to hop on Facebook? They could tell you 9 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So, I mean, they consistently knew. So that's the biggest thing is whatever you're doing now consistently will benefit you down the road. So it's no different than weight loss. You can't go to the gym and drop 20 pounds because you worked out for 2 hours. It's not going to happen. So it's the same way in the party planning business is try something, see if it works. After 3 to 6 months, if it doesn't, try something else. I haven't had any parties booked since middle of December, I think was my last party. I did a fundraiser. That is something that I'm very passionate about, is giving back to anybody and everybody. I'm not really in this for the money right now. The goal is for my husband to be able to quit his job and us do this full time, live off of Cincy, make, over $8,000 a month. Like that's the end goal. But right now, I want people to see how they can benefit from Cincy as well. And that is, here, take all of my commission. Let me do a fundraiser for you. Get my name out there. Let's get the product in people's hands. And here, let me help you in the process of whatever financially that you need help with. So I reach out to schools. I reach out and I watch Facebook like a hawk. So I'm a very photographic person. So when it comes down to somebody's falling on hard times, they're constantly, complaining about life on Facebook and their financial situation, or their job is like beating them to death because they're punching a clock. Those are conversations that I save for later on, that when we do have a join special or I host a party with them, I'm like, hey, so your party actually qualified for the $59 kit if you ever thought about signing up. And I have that conversation. I never cold message people. Now, like when we have like the harvest collection and the holiday collection and stuff like that, my true down to earth customers that really like those LTOs and stuff like that, and I watch them decorate their houses, the ones that I am messaging 2 days before the end of the month or before launch to say, hey, I don't know if you've seen it or not, and I don't actually sell it or push them. I just message them and I'm like, hey, I don't know if you've seen my post or not on Facebook, but our harvest collection is launching at 3 a.m. on the 1st. Let me know if you want to see the harvest collection catalog. And I leave it at that. And if they're like, oh, no, I didn't see it, can I see the catalog? I'll send them the link. And then right behind that, I'll send them a jot form that says, hey, if you want to order anything, just fill out this form for me. And that way I have your order completely together, because I have a ton of other orders and I don't want to miss anything. And so that just makes sure to keep me accountable on that end. But I'm constantly watching people post about things that they like or things they don't like. And that'll be a big thing for people who are new that don't really have a customer base. You don't know if Susie Q over here likes Disney, or she likes Marvel, or if she likes bakery and she hates floral. You'll never know unless you're actually watching. If you see somebody going to Disney 4 times a year, those are the people that you want to make sure are seeing your Disney posts when an LTO comes out. Those are the ones that you want to reach out to. So I'm just constantly watching.
Polls are really great for that type of thing too. If you're wanting to know if somebody's, and I actually saw Cece do this the other day, but if you're wanting to know if someone likes certain things, do polls, or do what Cece did the other day. If you know that we have something coming out, post about it beforehand, like watching Big Hero 6 with her kids.
My kids had never seen that before then. Never.
My kids hadn't either, and apparently it's on Netflix or Disney Plus or something right now, because my kids are like, oh, Big Hero 6. I was like, I didn't even know you had seen this movie.
Yes. So with that, I had maybe 4 people interact on that, and I made a post-it. So when it comes out, or even when we kind of know about it, I'm going to post again about it. And that way I can, but yeah, my kids had never seen that. They didn't even know what it was prior to that.
So if you,
like, hey, look.
If you post like a family interaction, then they get to see what your family is doing. But at the same time, you get people that will comment on that type of thing, because it's not a sales thing, and you'll get to see who's interested in something. So, Becky, do you want to share some stuff that you did that got you some consistent PRV in 2021?
Couldn't find the unmute button. I did some Facebook parties, and I did vendor events, and I did mystery crates. Those were a lot of fun. I'm hoping to get those started back up this year. My customer base is the same. They're not big on the fall. Spring and summer is usually my my big Scentsy season. And I use Project Broadcast to follow up and send out messages to my customers. I stock my workstation every day, as all of us do. And if I get a new order in, I'll email them right away as soon as I see that I have a new order. And first I look at their order to see what it is, and then I will communicate with them on a personal level based on whatever they've picked. Oh, you've picked my favorite scent or whatever. And then I set a reminder on my phone to follow back up with them on the delivery day per the carrier that's delivering, to see, did it come in okay? Was everything up to your expectations? And then I try to remember to follow back up again. LTOs, I'll message the people that I know that would be interested. So I know my Disney customers, I know my Harvest customers. So I know all of those pretty well. I don't know how I retain that information, but I do, because I really can't retain what I had for breakfast this morning. So I'll message them. I did mystery host in my VIP group. So I post a link in my VIP group and I tell them if they use this link to purchase this month, then I'll do a drawing. Not that they had to purchase, but you know, they did have to purchase. I'm trying to stay in compliance with that one. So do that at your own, do that with caution. I'll just put it that way. Make sure the people that are in your VIP group are definitely your customers and not other Scentsy consultants. I have, where I work, I have a display in the bathroom of a fragrance flower with my QR code to my website. I've gotten a lot of customers from there. I'm not a very consistent person, and everyone will let you know that. I'm very much ADHD and I go with the wind. So if it feels right this month, I'm going to do it this month. I might not do it the same next month, but my customers know that about me. And I just actually had dinner with 3 of them tonight, and they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I need to get some more stuff." So one thing though that I do try is I try to build a relationship with all of my customers. So I can't even tell you how many I have anymore, but I try to make sure that I either have an online relationship with them, or I have an actual relationship with them. So social media is a big place where I do my business. I'm hoping to expand over into Instagram this year. So I like their post. I'll make one little comment, I don't know, like, "Oh, that's so true," on their post or something like that. Just something that keeps me in the forefront of their mind. So I've got a lot of new customers off of self-referrals. They just message me and say, "Oh, hey, my wife is one of your customers and she likes the Better Together warmer. How can I order it?" I sent him my link and I told him to order it through there. I do like Amber. I only share the stuff that I really, really like. I'm not going to share and be fake about things. If I don't like it, I won't share it. A lot of what I share is the cleaning and the laundry. I share more of that than I probably do anything else, because that's what I use on a regular basis, is the cleaning and the laundry. Just between us chickens, I can't smell my wax bar anymore since COVID. I don't even change my wax because I can't smell it. But I still have to clean. So I still have to do laundry. So I share the heck out of that. I utilize my stories a lot. I have over 100 viewers on my stories versus 4 in a post. So I do use that a lot, and I use my business page a lot. So I post on my business page and I'll share it on my personal page, and I'll make sure that I'm tagging my business page. And then I can see better. What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out.
Your results, analytics.
Yeah,
Analytics.
my business page.
Something like that.
Analytics. and something another. So
Analytics.
How many people can see it?
yeah, I can see what people are looking at.
Well, thank you.
And that's basically me in a nutshell. I don't have a very good follow-up system. I buy the binder and I'm gonna do it, and I buy the planner and I'm gonna do it, and have an office. it doesn't look all that great right now because it's more storage, I have a pathway to my printer, and there's a lot of storage totes in there full of stuff for events. So I try to do the whole binder system and everything like that, but I'm more of a, oh yeah, I haven't talked to her in a long time. Let me check in and see what she's doing and stalk her on Facebook really fast. And then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to start just liking some of her newer posts and comment and then see what happens and give it a couple of days.
I think kind of the moral of the story there is the fact that anybody like that's rewatching this is Becky is successful. She's had amazing PRV. So, I mean, you don't have to be perfectly organized or the perfect post or the perfect whatever to be successful in Cincy. It's just showing up and doing some sort of work. If you just show up and be present, and I think every single person here has pretty much said, if you just stay visible to people and they don't forget that you're a Cincy person, you will slowly build your business. It's just staying consistent and staying visible no matter what goes on behind the scenes. You just have to show up for it. So I think that kind of is a good thing to keep in mind, especially if you're at the point of where you feel stuck or where you feel like you don't know what's the next thing to do, or you're just beginning and you're not sure what to do at all. Just start somewhere, start something, pick something and try it. Doesn't work, pick something else and try that, because every single one of us here have pretty much done that, to where we've tried something, maybe it didn't work. We tried it again, didn't work, tried something different. You have to find what works for you. You have to find what works for your customers. You have to find what works for your personality. It's not a one size fits all, but that's the beauty of Cincy. Kaylee, I'm so happy you're here. Do you want to share like one or two things that you did in 2021 to help like with your business?
Yes, and I'm actually a lot like Becky. I do not have a system because I cannot follow through, and so it's like an expectation, and then I feel bad because I fail at it. So basically, we go to church events. We've got people over our house all the time. Everyone knows that my house smells amazing. Every time they come in, they'll be like, "Ooh, what's that smell?" And then I'm like, "Ooh, here it is. And here's my collection. You see all this stuff?" And so like they always walk away with stuff. Honestly, we just had somebody last night that walked away with some scent bars. So it's every person you come in contact with. It's almost like you can open that door without it being awkward. Everybody knows I'm Cincy. I was driving through Chick-fil-A drive-through the other day, and like a coworker of mine, she was like, "I seen your post on social media." She's like, "I need some Cincy." And so I was getting my food from Chick-fil-A and got a Cincy order, like just like that. And it's just being consistent. I have honestly been focusing on clubs more. So those people that keep coming back, I'm like, this scent's going away. And the way to keep it is putting it on a club. So I opened those doors. I think I've got my church is on a subscription now. I think I have, of course, myself. And then I believe I've got 2 potentials for clubs. And so I'm trying to focus more on clubs because I feel like that's what's going to work for me. Because it's low maintenance, but you still get to check in on them or send them cards. You can even do like a birthday club where you send them a gift in the mail for the birthday, whatever. So that's what I'm working towards building. I'm trying to think of what else I did. I did some vendor events, but they weren't very successful, I would say, as far as like orders go. Maybe putting my face out there, it was successful, but I didn't see a return, honestly, from those.
Okay.
But that's just me, though. I didn't get any from that.
Hey, Kaylee, Was it you didn't see financial return or customer return?
Both. It was like they're like, oh, I get it, because if you did like a free gift type thing. I did a drawing for a free gift, and then I also did a sample gift for everyone. And that was at the women's conference last year. I'm still going to do it this year again because maybe seeing me again might help them return. I did get one customer, I think, from that. But other than that, it's just the normal people I see. They already are customers. So pretty much all my friends and family order from me. Oh, another thing I did this year was every gift I gave for Christmas had Scentsy in it. No matter if it was a guy or a woman or a kid, it had Scentsy in it. Because if you get a kid liking Scentsy buddies or anything like that, they're going to want it. Like Joey's family, actually, the kids put Scentsy on their wish list for the Christmas. So I know it's getting out there. And so that's what I did differently this year. Every birthday present, every Christmas gift had Scentsy in it somewhere. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, so, all right. So I want to ask the question to you guys. If you could pick one thing that you did at the very beginning of your business that you felt really like expanded your customer base or got people starting to order, like your business started to roll, what would that one thing be? Give y'all a minute then. What about you, Kim? You're brand new. What's been your one thing, Kim?
I think what helped me was just my personality when I'm out and about talking to people. And I wind up getting their name, and I offer free shipping if they're from here. Or I mean, no ship that I'll deliver it to them.
Yeah.
If they're in Crestview or Fort Walton, another advantage is I know a lot of people at the hair salons here. I've got sprays in salons. I've got warmers in salons. I go and switch out wax. Keep them in wax. Just a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah,
A
you're
lot of
really
my
good at
neighbors
relationships, like talking with people
smelling.
and stuff. Yeah.
And just following up with the ones that have bought, and then they're like, hey, when you place another order, how about grabbing me this? Or the scent circles, or like someone had said earlier, the scent circles and scent packs. I've gotten a lot of customers by giving them those, saying, you know, what have you got in this scent? What else have you got? I try to pass out a lot of those wherever I'm at.
Awesome. I want to go back to, we're gonna still go around, but my thing would probably be, I want to go back to that like very basic excitement. Like I want to drive through a drive-through and spray some room spray before I roll down my window because I want the person in drive-through to order from me, you know? I want to go back to doing little things like that to where I'm starting to spread and get more customers, not just on social media. So
I have noticed when people are asking for a Scentsy person, my name's coming up more often with people seeing me.
doesn't
They're
that
like,
feel
you
so
know,
good?
message
It feels so
her.
good.
I'm starting to be known as a Scentsy girl.
Good. All right, Cece, what's one thing if you had to say that you did to really take your business?
Partying, like in home parties. That is where I feel like I shined. So for the last, and I understand COVID and like we can't, my customers personally are not comfortable even now. So just I want to party again. I party a lot in the very beginning of my business and I miss it so much. And that's where this is kind of like rant, like off topic, but that's where most of my recruits had come from, is my in-home parties and them seeing that. So yeah, that would be my one thing that I did in the beginning that I wish I could keep doing now. So
Awesome.
is that.
I think as long as you get it Scentsy under people's noses, it's gonna sell.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we're in the scent business. If they can't smell it, they're not inclined to buy it. So
Well, we've got VR 3D vision stuff going. Smell-o-vision's probably next. So, all right, Amber, what about you?
So for me, of course, like I started at the peak of the beginning of COVID. Just had a baby, so in-home parties was not a thing yet. I don't know. I feel like just part of the excitement of everything just led to this willingness to try anything, to ask anyone, to, like there was no hesitation, like, oh my gosh, what if she thinks I'm weird? Or like that wasn't there at the time. And so I probably missed that, because now there's times where at times I feel like I overthink stuff for my business. And then let's see, definitely Facebook parties. Don't get me wrong, I still do them, but I feel like I'm not as consistent on those because I'm filling it with other things. And so if I could like maneuver doing more consistent parties as far as like quantity along with the other things, and finding that happy balance, that would be beneficial.
Balance, that's a good word. Okay, Misty, how about you? You can push the unmute.
So I do really well at home parties. I've not actually thrown a home party myself. I go with my teammates and do, like I've done their first launch home parties when they've wanted to. And I kind of just show them that you just kind of sit back and let them do their own thing. I don't get up and present. I don't get up and talk about Scentsy. I literally show up in a pair of leggings and a t-shirt and put everything out where they can see it, light it up, smell it, and sit everything out. I want to get back to doing those things. I think that COVID's going to prevent that. I also think that a lot of people have kind of got out of the whole home party thing because they're so afraid of having to clean their house and all that kind of stuff. I thrive the most in building my personal relationships with my customers. I know what they like. I know what they feel on Facebook. I'm always checking in if something was wrong or they need prayers. I'm constantly in contact with them through Facebook or Messenger. That's pretty much where I thrive the most. So that's something that I wouldn't change. I feel like I could probably do it a lot better and with more. And it's just finding that balance of being able to balance everybody's personal life and making time to be able to check in with them a lot more than what I do now.
For sure. All right, Kaylee, how about you? One thing that you did at the very beginning that you would do over again to get new customers?
I feel like I've veered away from Facebook parties because we had become so big in ministry and busy that I was scared I didn't have the time. So I feel like if I get back to Facebook parties and actually getting connected with more people, I think that'd be one thing I would want to try to get back to more consistently.
Awesome. All right, Becky, you're up last.
I miss the simplicity of it. I know that's probably strange because it's not hard. None of it's hard, but it just, I miss the simplicity of I got a box, I'm going to open it live and, the excitement there. And the part where I didn't have to worry too much about the business part.
So you like,
I know that
you thought that like unboxing lives and stuff was something that you really enjoyed doing. And it
I
progressed your business.
really enjoy doing that. Yeah. And so I don't get boxes anymore because I moved everybody to online, partly because I grew so much I can't do the deliveries and things like that and get it all done in a timely manner and still be able to run my business instead of driving all over town. And so I do miss getting boxes in. I miss being able to smell the things. Like that's been really difficult, is not being able to smell. So it's hard
some of those home remedies
relay
that
that.
they have out there.
I know, it's so hard to relay that. It's hard enough to try and relay how good something smells, through social media. It's really hard to relay it when you have no idea what it smells like. And so you can't really give them an idea of the notes and this, that, and the other. But yeah, I would say going back to unboxing things and doing stuff like passing out the scent circles and my magnets on my car that got stolen. So things like that. I think I want to go back to doing that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Scentsy,
my magnets got
if you
stolen.
if you get a Scentsy Club order in or like a whip box, those are things that maybe unboxing those things. So y'all had a lot of really good ideas. I think we kind of go ebb and flow in our business and finding, what works for us one year may not work for us the next. And so you guys all kind of gave everybody some ideas of what to focus on. So thank you guys for coming. Does anybody have any votes for what to talk about next month? Any avenues that we want to take this for 2022?
I would love to hear about some recruiting ideas, like recruiting tips. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think that always comes up. So yeah, we can talk about sponsoring. Becky should be definitely one to share, and Misty. They're like sponsoring fanatics. They're crazy.
I just flipped my best customer.
So you never know, she might turn into the best consultant.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm like, I just flipped my best customer.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so we'll try to let it be sponsoring. And then maybe we'll move into like leadership and onboarding after that. So sounds like a plan. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. I'll post the recording if you want to share it with any of your downline. And yeah, it's going to be a good month. Does anybody have anything fun, or I say fun, anything business wise that you've got planned for January to make it really, really good? No one? No. I am going to try to do a Facebook party. I'm going to do a last chance first glance towards the end of the month. And then midway through the month, I'm going to try to run a 10 bar special. Seems how it's the 10% off month. And I'm going to try to do as many bring back my bar waxes as I can into Scentsy Club. So I'm going to pull my bar report and all the stuff that's going out. I'm going to try to message everyone and try to get them into Scentsy Club, because I agree with Kaylee. I definitely, this month, I have barely worked my Scentsy business because I've been doing a lot of back office stuff, and Scentsy Club ran at the beginning, and I'm at least active, thank goodness, at Scentsy Club. So I definitely want to get to a point to where Scentsy Club is coming in more, and then everything I do after that is extra. So that's where my focus is. All right, guys. Anybody else have anything? You good? All right. We'll see you guys later. Enjoy your evenings.
Bye.